Today we're here to talk about what is a function. In terms of, we've actually been dealing with functions a lot with our linear equations, but a function is defined as a relationship between two variables that gives a unique output for every input. The way I like to think about it is that I have this machine and it has this button here, okay? And every time I push that button, I've told it to put out a lollipop. Now, if every time I hit that button and I'm getting a lollipop, then I'm pretty happy, and I would say that that is functioning. But if all of a sudden I push that button and I get out I get out a tricycle, let's say, got 3 wheels here, instead of my lollipop. Now, as much and as splendid as this tricycle is, I hit my lollipop button and I got out a tricycle. So I would say that this is not functioning and that it's broken. Let's move on down. Usually the way we think about this is in terms of a set of ordered pairs. So, for example, if I put in my 2, push that 2 button, and I get out a 6, every single time I push that 2 button, then I'm pretty psyched. So, or it may be push the 3 button and get out a 5, push the 4 button and get out a 6. I don't really care that these two are repeating, okay, as long as every time I push this 2 button, I get out my 6, okay? If you look over here, I pushed my 2 button and I got out a 6. But then later on, I pushed that same 2 button and I got out a 5. I would say that that is not functioning. Another way that we can look at whether something is a function or a relation is by looking at the graph. So these are these two ordered, this is the graph of these ordered pairs, okay? And this is the graph of these ordered pairs. Now you can see how here, if I drew a line anywhere through all these points, okay, then I'm never going to hit 2 points in any place. And you can see how here I put in this 2 and I've got two different outputs here. Okay, so that tells me that if I drew a vertical line through here, then I would intersect this graph twice, and that tells me that that is not a function. Okay? So that's one thing. So the two things we're going to look for to determine whether something is a function or not is whether or not all the inputs match up to a unique output. Now, if I came back in here and put in 4 again and got out 6, I'd still be excited about that. But over here, I can see that if I put in a 7 and then all of a sudden got out an 8, then I would say, oh, I put in a 7 2 different times and got out 2 different answers. So that means that this is a relation, not a function. Okay? That is a brief description of the difference between a relation and a function. Thank you for your time.